Mr. Clerk, call the roll.
Festerson.
Here.
Gray.
Here.
Jerem.
Here.
Mulligan.
Here.
Stothard.
Here.
Thompson is not here yet. Mr. President.
Here. Would you please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for the invocation by Council Member Gene Stothard.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I recently spoke at an Optimist Club, and a very nice gentleman wrote the City Council a poem, and I thought I would read you the poem he wrote for us today. It's called Challenges of a City. Difficult times for citizens these years, recessionary pressures increasing our fears. Each individual concerned for today, how much longer will it ever go away? Not a good time to be running a city. For City Council people, they get no pity. Each person has an opinion for the right fix, and many are ready to get in their licks. Omaha is blessed with economic power. How do we escape this difficult hour? We know the answers are hard to come by. Are there ideas that maybe will fly? I would also like to take this opportunity to congratulate Chief Alex Hayes and the Omaha Police Department on getting a National Accreditation Award today for overall department excellence. We're very proud of the job they do, and we are all sorry we couldn't attend their ceremony, which is happening at 2 o'clock right now. So congratulations to Chief Hayes and the Omaha Police Department.
City Clerk certified publication in the Daily Record on October 1st, announced for a pre-council and regular City Council meeting October 5th, 2010. A current copy of the Open Meetings Act is posted in a white binder on the east wall of the legislative chambers.
If you have a cell phone or a pager, we ask that you turn it off or to vibrate. Mr. Clerk, first item.
Pursuant to City Council Rule 70, due to no meeting being held October 12th, the third reading on agenda item number 5 shall be held on October 19th. The public hearing on this item is today. Ordinance on second reading. It's an ordinance authorizing and directing the issue of general obligation refunding bonds of the City of Omaha in the aggregate principal amount not to exceed $45 million to be termed for identification purposes, general obligation refunding bonds, Series 2010.
Public hearing on item number 5 begins now. Are there any proponents? Any opponents? Public hearing's closed. Next item.
Zoning ordinance on final reading and planning board attachments. We'll take items 6 through 10 together. 6 is ordinance to approve an amendment to the land use element of the master plan for the City of Omaha to change the future land designation from low density residential to office commercial for property located southeast of 90th and Blondo Streets. A, planning board recommends approval. B, planning department recommends denial. C is communications requesting that agenda items 6 through 10 be laid over 2 weeks till October 19th. 7 is ordinance to rezone property from R2 and CC to CC Community Commercial District. 8 is ordinance to amend the boundaries of the MCC Major Commercial Corridor Overlay District to incorporate into that district this property. A, planning board recommends approval. Planning department recommends denial. 11 is a preliminary plat entitled West Dodge Replat 7 is hereby accepted. A, planning board recommends approval. Planning department recommends denial. 10 is the replat transmitted herewith entitled West Dodge Replat 7 is hereby approved. A, planning board recommends approval and planning department recommends denial. We have a request.
2 weeks.
And continue the public hearing.
And continue the public hearing. Second.
Lights, roll call.
Festerson.
Yes.
Gray.
Yes.
Jerem.
Yes.
Mulligan.
Yes.
Stothard.
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
Mr. President.
Yes.
It's laid over 2 weeks. Pursuant to City Council Rule 70, agenda item number 11 through 12 shall be laid over 2 weeks for publication and public hearing. Liquor items number 13 and 14 are one case. 13 is Brick House Tavern and Tap, 701 North 102nd Street, new application, new location. It's a Class C liquor license. And 14 is a catering liquor license for the same applicant at the same location.
Public hearing on items 13 and 14 begin now. Are there any proponents? Any opponents? Public hearing's closed. Roll call.
Festerson.
Yes.
Gray.
Yes.
Jerem. Mulligan. Stothard.
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
Mr. President.
Yes.
They're both approved 7-0. Item number 15, Perry's Place, 9652 Mockingbird Drive, new application, O location is the Class C liquor license.
Public hearing on item number 15 begins now. Are there any proponents? Name and address.
Chad Perry, 1005 North 107th Avenue.
Thank you. Are there any other proponents? Any opponents? Public hearing's closed. Second. Roll call.
Festerson. Yes. Gray. Yes. Jerem. Mulligan. Yes. Stothard. Yes. Thompson.
Yes.
Mr. President.
Yes.
It's granted 7-0. Item number 16 is Curtin Clyde's at 2202 South 13th Street. New application, no location. They're adding a beer garden and increasing the size of the building. We have a communications, our attorney requesting it'd be laid over until 2 weeks until October 19th and continue public hearing, and we have communications from planning.
Motion lay over for 2 weeks.
Second. Roll call.
And continue the public hearing.
Continue the public hearing.
Second. Roll call.
Festerson.
Yes.
Gray.
Yes.
Jerem. Mulligan.
Yes.
Stothard.
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
Mr. President.
Yes.
And Mr. Jerem passes second time for potential conflict of interest. It's laid over 2 weeks, 601 passing. Item number 17, Exarban Cinema, 2110 South 67th Street, Suite 106. New application, new location, it's a Class I liquor license.
The public hearing on item number 17 begins now. Are there any proponents?
Thank you. Steve Delaney on behalf of Barstow Exarban LLC, 1125 South 103rd Street, Suite 600.
Thank you. Are there any other proponents? Any opponents? Public hearing's closed. Roll call.
Festerson.
Yes.
Gray.
Yes.
Jerem. Mulligan.
Yes.
Stothard.
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
Mr. President.
Yes.
Granted 7-0. Item number 18 is Allied Liquor, 2809 North 16th Street. New application, new location. It's for a package liquor license.
Public hearing on item number 18 begins now. Are there any proponents?
Yes, Howard Newhouse. I represent LLJ LLC, who is the applicant, and my address is 3934 North 90th Street, Omaha, Nebraska.
Thank you. Are there any other proponents? Any opponents? Public hearing's closed. Mr. Gray.
Thank you, Mr. President. We have here a communication from Chief Building Inspector requesting that we lay this matter over until such time as they meet permits, until they come into compliance with, several of their permits and so forth, and some of the code violations that are at odds here at this point. My position, though, would be in opposition. We don't need any. First of all, this is right down the street, less than 3 or 4 blocks from Chubb's, which already has an off-sale liquor license. And secondly, in the area that is already saturated by too many packaged liquor licenses, I would be opposed to any more liquor licenses, especially new applications, new locations in my district. So while they're requesting a layover, I'm going to make a motion to deny.
No further lights. We have a motion and a second to deny.
Number 18? Yes.
Number 18.
Roll call.
Festerson.
Yes.
Gray.
Yes.
Jerem. Mulligan.
Yes.
Stothard.
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
Mr. President.
No.
It is denied on a 5-2 vote. Item number 19, Goldie's at 10318 Ellison Circle requests permission for a change of location of their present Class C liquor license to be located at 5502 North 103rd Street.
Public hearing on item number 19 begins now. Are there any proponents?
I'm Brandy Goldap, 16168 Emmett Circle, Omaha, Nebraska, 68116.
Steve Goldap, same address.
Are there any other proponents? Any opponents? Public hearing's closed.
Second.
Roll call.
Festerson.
Yes.
Gray.
Yes.
Jerem.
Yes.
Mulligan.
Yes.
Stothard. Thompson.
Yes.
Mr. President.
Yes.
It's granted 7-0.
Thank you.
Item number 20, Jonesy's Taco House at 1502 South 60th Street. Request permission to appoint Janet Reed manager.
Public hearing on item number 20 begins now. Are there any proponents?
My name's Janet Reed, and I live at 6007 Woolworth Avenue, Omaha, Nebraska.
Thank you. Any other proponents?
Charles Jones, 3901 Avenue C, Council Bluffs, Iowa.
Thank you. Are there any other proponents? Any opponents? Public hearing's closed. Second, roll call.
Festerson.
Yes.
Gray.
Yes.
Jerem. Mulligan. Stothard. Thompson.
Yes.
Mr. President.
Yes.
It's approved 7-0. Item number 21, Ingredient Restaurant, 3201 Farnham Street, Suite 6101. Request permission to appoint Arthur Dingby Jr. manager. We have a request from the owner to withdraw this application.
So moved. Second.
Roll call.
Festerson.
Yes.
Gray.
Yes.
Jerem.
Yes.
Mulligan. Stothard. Thompson.
Yes.
Mr. President.
Yes.
It's withdrawn, allowed withdrawal 7-0. Item number 22, Kirk's Lounge at 5216 North 24th Street. Request permission to appoint John Menichetti, manager of the present Class C liquor license.
Public hearing on item number 22 begins now. Are there any proponents?
Yeah, Sean Kelly, 7134 Pacific Street, here on behalf of the manager applicant. John is here in the back if you guys have any specific questions for him, and I'd be happy to answer if you had any. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other proponents?
Passing.
Any opponents? Public hearing's closed. Roll call.
Festerson.
Yes.
Gray.
Yes.
Jerem.
Pass.
Mulligan.
Yes.
Stothard.
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
Mr. President.
Yes.
And Jerem passes second time for potential conflict of interest. It's approved 6-0-1 passing. Item number 23, Carrabba's Italian Grill, 14520 West Maple Road. Request permission to appoint Gregory Strickland, manager of the present Class I liquor license.
Public hearing on item number 23 begins now. Are there any proponents?
Yes, Greg Strickland, 14912 Paul Plaza, Omaha.
Thank you. Are there any other proponents? Any opponents? Public hearing's closed.
Move the approval.
Second.
Roll call.
Festerson.
Yes.
Gray.
Yes.
Jerem. Mulligan. Stothard.
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
Mr. President.
Yes.
It's approved 7-0. Item number 24, Connections at 1901 Leavenworth Street. Request permission to appoint Tara Thompson, manager.
Public hearing on item number 24 begins now. Are there any proponents?
Hi, I'm Kelly Thomas. I'm here to represent Connections. I'm secretary of CalVal.
Are there any other proponents? Any opponents? Public hearing's closed.
Motion approved.
Roll call.
Festerson.
Yes.
Gray.
Yes.
Jerem.
Yes.
Mulligan.
Yes.
Stothard.
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
Mr. President.
Yes.
It's approved 7-0.
Thank you.
Consent agenda. Any member of the City Council may cause an item placed on the consent agenda to be removed. Items removed from consent agenda shall be taken up by the City Council immediately following the consent agenda in the order in which they were removed, unless otherwise provided by the City Council rules of order.
Public hearings on agenda item numbers 25 through 27 were held on September 28th. Do we have a motion?
Motion approved.
Roll call.
Festerson.
Yes.
Gray.
Yes.
Jerem. Mulligan. Stothard. Thompson.
Yes.
Mr. President.
Yes.
They're all passed 7-0.
Public hearings on agenda items number 28 through 37 begin now. Are there any proponents? 28 through 37. Are there any proponents? Any opponents? Public hearing's closed.
Motion approved.
Roll call.
Festerson.
Yes.
Gray.
Yes.
Jerem. Mulligan. Stothard.
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
Mr. President.
Yes.
Mr. President, we'll take up item number 57 next.
Okay.
57 is a resolution that the city consents to the transfer in interest on property at 3501 State Street and the assignment of rights and obligations. It's the Notre Dame Apartments LLC, authorizing a supplemental agreement authorizing a debt subordination agreement, authorizing consent to the city to the placement of lien.
Public hearing on item number 57 begins now. Are there any proponents? Any opponents? Public hearing's closed. Roll call.
Festerson.
Yes.
Gray. Jerem. Mulligan. Stothard.
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
Mr. President.
Yes.
It's adopted 7-0. Pursuant to City Council Rule 7H, the third reading and public hearing on agenda item 38 shall be held on October 19th. Pursuant to City Council Rule 7H, the third reading on agenda items number 39 through 43 shall be held on October 19th. The public hearing on these items are today. Ordinance on second reading, item 39, ordinance to approve a sewer ratepayers assistance agreement between the City of Omaha and Metropolitan Utilities District involving the administration and distribution of funds from the City of Omaha Sewer Ratepayers Assistance Fund.
The public hearing on item number 39 begins now. Are there any proponents? Any opponents? Public hearing's closed. Next item.
We'll take items 40, 41, 42, and 43 together. They're all contracts with different school districts. 40 is ordinance to approve a contract between the City of Omaha and Elkhorn Public Schools for the city to provide through its assignment one uniformed police officer and a marked police car. 41 is for Millard North High School. 42 is the Omaha Public Schools, and 43 is Westside Community Schools.
Public hearing on items 40 through 43 begin now. Are there any proponents? Any opponents? Public hearing's closed. I'm sorry. Mr. Thompson.
Yes, I'm a big proponent of the school resource officers, and I know sometimes the gentlemen or the ladies who get that particular duty, they're often kidded as being quote-unquote kitty cops. But I'd like to thank the Omaha Police Department for reaching out and doing this, and also the grant money we get to do it. We know that prevention is the best way to do law enforcement. And in many cases, the school resource officers don't have to intervene because of their presence already there. And many of the school resource officers, they reach out and actually get involved with the schools, and they do things like befriend the kids and talk to the kids, so that kids will, if there's going to be a fight or something, they actually go to the school resource officer ahead of time, and then things are, avoided. So I think it's a great usage of our funds, and perhaps it isn't the glamorous job that, detectives or others have, but at the same time, it probably is. We're probably getting our most money out of this in terms of the prevention side, and helping set a role model for the kids to follow. I think it's a great program to let young people know that all cops aren't bad, and that they are there to listen and to build relationships. And so that's just a little editorial, but I think, like I said before, it's a great usage of our tax dollars. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you. Next item.
Item 44 is resolution the City Law Department be directed to pay the bill submitted by the Nebraska Medical Center for necessary medical treatment rendered to an individual in police custody, namely William J. Worley.
Public hearing on item number 44 begins now. Are there any proponents? Any opponents? Public hearing's closed.
Because I know the president can't wait to agree to this, make the motion to approve.
Second.
No disrespect to the Supreme Court. No lights, roll call.
Festerson.
Yes.
Gray.
Yes.
Jerem.
Yes.
Mulligan.
Yes.
Stothard.
I abstain for potential conflict.
Yes. Thompson.
No.
Mr. President.
Again, all respect to the Supreme Court, yes.
And Stothard passes the second time for potential conflict of interest. It's adopted on a 5-1-1 passing vote. Pursuant to City Council Rule 7F, agenda item number 45 should be laid over 4 weeks for publication. Public hearing. Report. Item number 46, City of Omaha's Nebraska OMB Audit report for the year ending December 31st, 2009, with independent audit report therein prepared by KPMG LLP. We need a motion to receive and place on file.
So moved.
Second. Roll call.
Festerson.
Yes.
Gray.
Yes.
Jerem. Mulligan. Stothard. Thompson.
Yes.
Mr. President.
Yes.
Pursuant to City Council Rule 7H, the third reading and public hearing on agenda items 47 through 49 shall be held on October 26th. Pursuant to City
Sure.
Council Rule 7H, the second reading and public hearing on agenda items number 50 through 55 shall be held on October 29th, or October 19th.
Chair will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion adjourned.
Second. Roll call.
Festerson. Gray.
Yes.
Jerem. Mulligan. Stothard. Thompson.
Yes.
Mr. President.
Yes. Thank you all.